So we are back after a month or so without uploading any videos. It has been a month whereby we as a country have witnessed a lot. So much has happened, and I think the most unfortunate and sad thing has been the so many deaths and abductions. Let's keep praying and assisting those who have been affected in whichever way we can. It's even more sad that some of the rogue cops who killed and injured innocent people are still walking scot-free. Yet we say we live in a country governed by the rule of law. I wonder where we are heading as a country. But anyway, let's not digress too much. Back to cars. I have been receiving many requests from you guys, and I'm going to do my best to work on all your requests. In today's episode, we will be comparing two hatchbacks, one of which we have talked about severally, which is the Toyota IST. Some time back, we compared it to the Mazda Verisa, but now there's this other category of people who prefer something different apart from the IST and Verisa, something that can deliver everything that an IST can, but something that is not so common as the IST. That's now where the Suzuki Baleno comes in. It's a relatively new car in the Kenyan market. In fact, the first generation was in production from 2015 till 2022, and it's actually the same car as the Toyota Starlet. So the only different thing is the badge. We will be finding out if indeed the Baleno is a better car compared to the IST, and most importantly, if it offers better value. So please stick around for that. As always, if you find this content helpful, please do consider subscribing to the channel for more informative content on cars as well as bikes. Welcome to Akevo Reviews. So the IST was in production for just 2 generations. The 2016 model that we will be talking about is the second generation, which was in production from 2007 till 2016. And this car was underpinned by Toyota's B platform, which also underpinned vehicles such as the Vitz, Belter, and Ractis, and also other vehicles. And that's why so many parts are interchangeable among these cars, from engines, transmissions, and even the suspension components. These are generally very easy and affordable cars to maintain. The 2017 Suzuki Baleno, on the other hand, is the first generation. As we've just said, it was in production from 2015 till 2022, and it was underpinned by the Hatec platform, which also underpinned cars like the Swift and Ignis. And just like with the Toyotas, these Suzukis also share several components. Let's talk engine options. With the IST, it's very simple and straightforward. It comes with the well-known and celebrated 1NZ FE 1500cc engine that is extremely reliable. It's mated to a CVT gearbox and is available in either front or all-wheel drive. We have talked about this engine so many times, so for the IST, this is just going to be a condensed review. We will focus more on the Baleno because we have previously talked quite a lot about the IST. This 1.5-liter engine can return figures of around 15-16 kilometers per liter, depending on how light you are on the throttle. Not much to say, this engine can last for ages. Just do the basic maintenance and you will have a very stress-free ownership experience. Nothing much goes wrong with these engines. Onto the Suzuki Baleno, it comes with a plethora of engine options. Now, there's a 1000cc 3-cylinder turbo booster jet engine. Then there's a 1400cc 4-cylinder. There's also a 1200cc, but this 1200cc is a series of engines. There's a K12C option that is in fact a 1250cc engine. Then there's a K12M option, and lastly a K12N option, which is available as a mild hybrid. I hope you've understood that. So in a nutshell, there are three main engine options: a 1.0, a 1.4, and a 1.2 liter, which is a series of three other options: K12C, K12M, and a K12N, which is exclusively a mild hybrid. Transmission-wise, there are also several options. There's a 5-speed manual, which you can get with any engine option. Then there is a 4-speed automatic, which is exclusive to the 1.4 liter engine. And lastly, there is a CVT gearbox, which is exclusive to the 1200cc series of engines, especially the K12C and K12M. I hope that is clear enough. Now, the hybrid system is mild in the sense that it cannot drive the vehicle fully on EV mode like the Toyota Aqua can. It only works by converting kinetic energy generated when braking into electric energy. This is what is commonly referred to as regenerative braking. This energy is then stored in a special battery that is used to help improve the vehicle's efficiency as well as boost the car's acceleration, especially when going up an incline. It's generally not a very sophisticated hybrid technology, and even in terms of reliability, it's very good. It's one of those systems whereby even in the event of hybrid technology failure, the car can still be able to move, though the efficiency will drop and the car may not feel as powerful due to the absence of that extra boost from the batteries. The other engine options are ideally bulletproof, especially the 1.4 liter and 1.2 liter. Very simple engines that cost so little to maintain. The 1000cc 3-cylinder turbocharged booster jet may fool you into thinking it's sluggish, but you'll be surprised. It actually feels very spirited. In fact, just for comparison, that small engine produces around 109 horsepower and the 1.4 liter 4-cylinder produces around 90 horsepower. So the 1.0 liter is quite decent. Then something else that favors this car is it's very lightweight. So that plus that small turbocharged engine really makes this car feel powerful. That said, being a turbocharged engine, as I always advise, make sure you are careful with the maintenance. Change the oil at the recommended or required time and make sure you use the original recommended oil. That engine can be very reliable, but only if you maintain it well. Remember, it's a small engine with forced induction, so that also brings in the aspect of how you drive. If you keep thrashing it and driving it very aggressively, it may not last. It will certainly wear off faster because of the too much overworking. Consumption wise, the 1.0 liter can give up to impressive figures of 20 kilometers per liter, the 1.4 around 16.5 kilometers per liter, the 1.2 and 1.25 around 18 kilometers per liter, and lastly the mild hybrid around 21 kilometers per liter. So quite good. All these engine options are more efficient compared to the IST. The IST has a 42 liter fuel tank capacity, while the Baleno has a slightly smaller 37 liter tank. The brake setups are identical, with both having ventilated discs at the front and drums at the back. Then in terms of ground clearance, as always, the IST wins in that particular aspect, though the Baleno doesn't fall back behind. In fact, in both cars, you may not have to modify the clearance at all. Suspension wise, again, they are similar. They both get McPherson struts at the front and torsion bars at the back. They offer comfortable rides. Not super plush, but comfortable enough. As for safety, both vehicles don't have any active driver assist safety features. Expect to get just the basic features such as driver and passenger airbags, anti-lock brake system, EBD brake assist, ESP and traction control. The EST even offers curtain airbags as standard, while the Baleno offers it as an option depending on the trim level. What about their carb weights? The IST ranges between 1150 to 1210 kgs, while the Baleno between 865 to 1005 kgs. So you can just see, as I said earlier, that lightweight of the Baleno really gives it an edge in terms of fuel consumption, and even in terms of feeling powerful. The engines are smaller, but the lighter weight of the car gives it an advantage in terms of power to weight ratio. As for the optional features, depending on the trim level, I don't expect that much, as these are basic economy cars. So in the IST, you can get fog lights, alloy rims, parking sensors, automatic AC, HID headlights, navigation, body kit, and keyless entry and go. In the Suzuki Baleno, you can expect to get cruise control, which is quite nice. There are also fog lights, projector headlights, alloy wheels, automatic AC, daytime running lights, navigation, auto dimming rear view mirror, and even paddle shifts. So better than what the IST can offer. Lastly, what about their prices? 2015 and 2016 models of the IST will currently set you back between 1.4 to around 1.55 million, while 2016 and 2017 models of the Baleno are currently going for between 1.17 to around 1.48 million. We are going to talk about value for money in a short while as I give my recommendation. But very quickly, let me say something about the space on offer in these vehicles. The Baleno is surprisingly more spacious than the IST. In fact, it's 60 millimeters longer in terms of length than the IST and 65 millimeters longer in terms of the wheelbase compared to the IST. This may look marginal, but it does translate to better interior space, especially in the second row of seats as well as the boot. As for the designs, I would say they are both okay. Not striking in any way, but simple and inoffensive. That said, let's go straight into their pros and cons, beginning with the IST. This is a very solid car in terms of reliability. It has very good ground clearance. It's affordable to maintain and has excellent resale value. In fact, there's one on sale right now, a 2009 model going for a whopping 900,000 shillings. So these cars really retain their value quite well. And this takes us on to the weak point, because in as much as they retain their values well, they almost tend to seem a bit overrated and overpriced. On to the Baleno, again, it's very reliable, especially the 1.2 and 1.4 liter engines. It's also very affordable to maintain, very efficient, more spacious compared to the IST and even other small cars like the Vitz. It's more responsive, especially variants with the 4-speed automatic. And lastly, it offers good value for money. I'm explaining this very shortly. On to its weak point, which is a minor one, is its average resale value. People have not embraced this car so much, and this has consequently also affected its resale value in the used car market space. In fact, this 2021 Toyota Starlet, which is essentially a Suzuki Baleno, it's going for 1.1 million. Yes, a 2021 model going for 1.1 million, yet a 2009 model of the IST is going for 900,000. So now you see what I mean when I say ISTs are overpriced and overrated. On to value for money, it's easy to see that the Baleno will offer you better value. For one, it's more spacious, more efficient, has more features, yet it costs slightly less than an IST. Also remember that it's more recent. A top spec 2017 Baleno going for 1.45 million and a 2016 top spec IST going for 1.55 million. Definitely the Baleno makes more sense, and that's why I would highly recommend it over a 2016 IST. But if you still prefer the IST and are on a tight budget, then with even 700,000 shillings you can get the earlier models from around 2007. Do let me know your thoughts in the comment section. I hope this has been helpful. Thanks a lot for watching. If you have any inquiries, feel free to reach me via WhatsApp or email. Do also consider subscribing to the channel for more informative content on cars and bikes. That's it for today. Stay safe, ride and drive safe, and see you in the next one.